Hi guys, and welcome to another episode with me in Deep with Kayla, and today I've got the wonderful Tommy Slade, who I utterly adore. So thanks for coming today.
Anytime.
So I was actually meant to be filming a scene today and that got cancelled, and this is my number one go-to for a guy. And so we're going to film a little podcast today for you guys and then go straight into a scene. And I'm thinking to do it here, be a little bit different with the scenery. And I fancy a little bit of, am I allowed to say on here? Like, up the wall. Because I don't actually have that content. So I asked him if that was okay. And he was like, yeah. So,
whatever.
Yeah.
Not for anything.
And we were just talking about some things because we were getting set up, and I was like, oh, good boy, and I'm thinking he's probably going to be wondering what am I going on about, but I just charged someone some money to put something in a cage for me. Yeah. And the other day, so he wanted my socks, so I sent my socks for I think $150. And I said, I hope you don't mind. Like, I don't have smelly feet. I didn't know if that was a thing that he actually wanted. Like, I've never had smelly feet, and actually they smell quite nice. And I also did spray a little bit of my nice scent in the bag that I sent it in, and he was like, "You're sent from the heavens above." He was like,
I think people just want to smell you.
Yes.
It's not necessarily like the smelliness.
Yes.
Unless they specify, I want you to wear these for 3 days.
Yes.
Non-stop.
Yes, exactly that. But he was very pleased, and then he put it over something and had a jolly old good time with my instruction.
There you go.
What is one of the weirdest things you've had requested, or do you not really get those?
No, I do get weird.
Do you?
requests.
Okay.
It was just the other month.
Okay.
Someone's asking me to fart. For a custom
I've
fart.
never had that.
And I was like, I'll do that. And they were like, no, I want a close-up of your butthole as you do it. And I was like, no. I draw the line there. We're not doing that.
I think maybe I would. I don't know. Just for the laugh.
I drew the line there. I was like, no. If this gets leaked...
Oh, yeah.
If this gets leaked, would you be proud of that? But my normal videos, yeah. Maybe not.
It's so funny, isn't it? Because you discuss it with someone, and I discuss things so openly, and you kind of forget that people full on visualise that. I just full on visualised that.
Wow.
Yeah, the movement and everything. Although, what was it? I met, what's his name, Dean. I went to Andy's book launch.
Yeah.
And I was next to Dean. I can't remember his last name. Sorry, Dean. And oh my God! And something he told me, I probably can't even say it on here, but something fell out of a particular hole onto a chest, and it was caught on camera because it was meant to be one of those what you were saying, farting content, and
Wow.
Got more than the person had bargained for, but
you can't even share that, can you? Really?
No, not on OF, no. But it was hilarious. He actually showed me it. Yeah.
Wow.
And I thought, wow, I love the openness of this life. The weird and random, because I've always said, right, that the world's normal has never felt natural to me.
No.
And I feel more me now than ever in this realm, this part of the world.
It's good as well, when you have friends doing it. Because you don't have to, censor anything. You can just say what you want to say, and it just feels natural.
Yes.
Especially for us, do you know what I mean? Where it's nice to talk about things and have an outlet. And, I find sometimes with vanilla life people, you have to watch your words a little bit.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
You're constantly editing yourself, essentially, aren't you? And making sure that you're, I suppose we're so taught this socially conformative, normal way of being, And it weren't even that long ago. I think it was, it might have been about 2 years ago. I'm such a geek deep down. People go concerts and stuff. My night out is going to see Gabor Mate, who's a psychologist, and I love him and I love his work. And I went to see him in Islington, and he wrote a book called The Myth of Normal. And I was like, oh, I just find that so juicy. I just love it. And it makes me feel not so not alone anymore, because it's like, you can spend years, can't you, thinking, oh, I'm different, or I'm weird, or something's wrong with me. And you spend years searching around for what that fundamental thing is that's wrong with you. And I did that for so freaking long. And yes, the narrative might creep in a little bit still these days, but ultimately, like, I really feel like, not that I'm fully there, but like, I really like know me now. Like, I've uncovered, it gives me so goosebumps. Look at my legs. This is what he's going to do to me in a minute. Yeah, goosebumpies. Yeah, I feel like I really like know me now. Like, how long have you, because obviously I've only been doing OF since September 2023, and started filming the adult films with other people in the December 2023. How long have you been doing it for?
Since 2020.
So you was in lockdown. That the good time, which I wish I did.
I say the good time, but there was a lot going on right there, so I couldn't get stuck in deep and actually make the money's worth out of it. Yeah. So it was still.
Was it something where you was that way of being, that way of life, already within your life, or was it a jump? No, it was. Yeah.
I've always been like super open. Like, I've been swinging since I was like 20.
Wow, 20.
20, and I'm like, I've just always like the openness of sex.
Yeah.
And exploring it and stuff like that. Like, I had some crazy like meets with couples and stuff.
Wow.
10 years older than me when I was like 20, like.
Wow.
So I've always been open to it. And then within my relationships, I've been open to it. Some people haven't been open to it. And it is what it is. Do you know what I mean?
Is it something you discussed before you got into a relationship? Like, did you say, this is like my lifestyle, and to see whether that aligned, or was
I didn't think it was really like my lifestyle back then.
Right, okay.
I dabbled, do you know what I mean? Didn't know if it was going to be like a lifelong lifestyle or something. Like, definitely now, I think so. It's just adult play, isn't it? That's kind of like how I see it.
Freedom.
Like, and it's not that deep.
No.
It doesn't have to be that deep. Do you know what I mean? Everyone thinks it's like this. I think sex between your partner and like other people is very different.
Totally.
People like completely just don't get that.
No. I suppose you get to access those parts of you capable of that. You actually get to sort of open up all these different portals and see, as a human, what you're actually capable of being, doing, experiencing. And that, as long as like there's like the decent, healthy communication there and all that, what a wonderful experience to have within this lifetime, to unlock all those parts and experience them.
Yeah, totally.
You know, because isn't it just mad of how much stigma and judgment there is? And yet, statistically, in terms of cheating, divorce, all of that, adultery, that's huge, absolutely huge. So it's like, well, why not incorporate this more open, communicative life?
It's mad that cheating is more socially acceptable than being non-monogamous.
Yes, like.
And they're like, oh my gosh, like, what on earth are you doing? I'm like, well, you cheated before.
Yes.
Yeah, but, and I'm like, well, who's ethical here and who isn't?
Yes.
Do you know what I mean?
To me, it's like insane. And sometimes I think, is it because I'm neurodivergent and it's literal? But then I'm like, but no, but it is. It's mad to.
I do think there's a bit of like a polar opposite and a bit of like a flick of a switch. And once you flick that switch, it's really hard to go back.
Yeah.
And then the people that just don't get it.
Just don't get it.
They just don't get it. They'll never get it.
Yeah.
Because that switch is literally turned off for them.
Yeah.
And I'm like, but it makes so much, it's logically, it makes sense. And they're like, no. And
Yeah.
I'm like, okay.
Yeah, just very against and want to stick with that core belief. I suppose some, when they're challenged in any way to adjust a belief or see things slightly differently, there are people out there that are just unwilling to view anything in a different way, you know, and then I'm not there to impose changing that anyway. So it's like respecting that too. I always say like the best teachers are the ones that sort of take your hands, take you up the mountain, get you to the good viewpoint and go, oh, isn't that a nice purple sky? And they go, oh, I think it's a lovely green sky. And I'm like, cool. Rather than trying to impose what I'm experiencing or what I see and making them think that they need to think or see the way I do. Do you know what I mean?
Everyone sees everything differently.
Yeah.
Their experience is different to ours.
Yeah.
You do you.
Yeah.
I'll do me.
Exactly.
Just coexist in without the judgment. Do you know what I mean?
Yes.
So,
and letting all parts of you coexist. That is like...
These people, I don't go like, oh, it's disgusting. You just, you know, you're so closed-minded. You need to do this.
I know, yeah.
And like, I never say that. But it's the other way around.
Mm-hmm.
How could you? How could you?
Mm-hmm.
How could you not?
Yeah.
It's boring.
you ain't tried it. I was nervous. I don't know if you saw on my socials. I was nervous to even put the story up and the TikTok, but I had a phone call the other night. So I was finishing working. Obviously, I work till quite late, like online. And that's my work phone. And then I looked at my personal phone just before I went to bed and I saw this missed call. And it was one of the mums from the school. And I'm like, oh, no, like, did she need me? And I've like panicked in that moment because I want to be there for someone who might need me. And I've missed that call. It was on Do Not Disturb anyway. So it was too late. I did reply, but obviously they were asleep. And then in the morning, I'm sitting there eating my breakfast. I'd forgot. And then the phone's ringing again, and it's this person. So I'm like, hello, like, I'm so sorry. Did you need me? I missed your call. And she's like, I just want to let you know, like, there was talk in the playground yesterday that you do OF. And I thought, oh, it's that time. It's all like...
I didn't know if they knew or not already.
Yeah, well, I knew that there was a couple of them. Because we did like a soft play party once, and one of them had said something, and I'd mentioned that, and they were like, yeah, I know, and they were really cool, and they've been really nice, and haven't like steered clear of me or anything like that, and no nastiness. So that's been really lovely, because you get a lot of people telling you, well, your kid's going to get bullied, and I'm like, and again, like what we're saying about that, what logically makes sense to me, what logically makes sense is that the bullying is the issue. Bullying is a problem, an epidemic. Do you know what I mean? And it's not necessarily what I do. I think we live in a very victim-blaming society, you know. But yeah, so she gave me this heads up, and she was like, I just want you to know, because there's nothing worse than walking into a situation when everyone's looking at you funny and you don't know why. I mean, considering what I do and the online presence, I would probably assume if I had funny looks that it was maybe because of that. Or think something's on my mouth or something like that. Do you know what I mean? But it was okay. It was. They were fine. They didn't mention anything. I just noticed they were more quiet with me and slightly more awkward. And then I sit there and I worry and I think, oh, I hope my child doesn't get left out of things because of me. And then I have to remind myself, Kayla, if someone was to do that, would you really want that type of person in your lives? And I'm like, no. No. You know?
That's the thing. Like, I think doing what we do really shows you who the real ones are.
Yeah.
And I've always said it, the trash takes itself out.
So true.
Like, you start this, and the people that are going to be there and should be there are there.
Yeah.
And the people that, you know...
Yeah.
They make themselves scarce, and that's that. And I'm like, cool.
Have you had that experience, I would assume? Yeah. Friends?
A few times. Yeah, some friends, some ex-family, stuff like that.
Yeah.
Cool, you do you.
Yeah.
Good luck with that.
Yeah. And do you feel lighter when, like, because obviously it's hard to see sometimes, isn't it, at the time when you've got someone in your life? Because it is tricky to, like, be the one to, like, either push them away, let them go, whatever. But when it does, for me, it kind of like the universe sort of takes it to, or I take it to that brink, and then the universe does it sort of for me. Do you know what I mean? And then I just I'll have that moment of upset and like grief. But then very soon after, I feel this like weight lifted and this relief, and I'm like, wow, if I actually listen to my body rather than my mind, then it's telling me everything essentially.
Yeah, totally.
And I think that being in this industry, I got goosebumps again. So profound.
We haven't even started the segment yet.
I know, it hasn't even touched me yet. I think someone said to me the other day, because I've got a fan, I was saying she does recovery as well. Obviously in July I'm going to be 11 years clean and sober. Get in, God willing. And this dude's 22 years clean and sober. It's so cool that he's like on my side and a fan. Like, and we have this like naughtiness and wholesomeness. It's so lovely to just... I love integrating all parts. I love that you can be that and that and that and that all at once.
Well, it's normal.
Yes,
We're not sexual beings 25-8. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
And aren't we like the only ones, I mean, as in like animals, who have, is it the emotional part or the... Oh God, what is it? I know animals must be able to feel emotion, but there's something where you can... Oh, I need to Google it. I'll do my research over it. Where you can assess and rationalise and have the emotion attached to it more. Do you know what I mean? I think that's just part of us. And I think, well then, while you're here on Earth for this lifetime that's gonna flash by, have a fucking laugh with
Literally.
it. Have some fun with it. Do you know what I mean? Explore yourself. Like, I love when Florence Given, I don't know if you know her, she's an author, I love her, and she says living deliciously. It makes me salivate, that statement. I'm like, yes, queen, that's what I want to do.
Totally.
And for years I'd make myself all small. And
that's the thing, you've seen it from that side and now to this side.
Yeah.
So.
How did you, because you said obviously, you said you got into the swinging from like 20. How was you exposed to that? How did you come into that? How did you know about it?
Just the internet.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Not people, not friends that were like, oh, this is what I do. No.
No, I had no one that was like even remotely like that.
Oh, so you saw something and thought, oh, I'd like that.
Yeah.
Right.
So I've always been like that way inclined. So
curious and a little. Go see what all that's about. Well, that was fun. Let's do more.
and obviously this industry gives you like that.
Yes.
Access to that. I'd say it's not necessarily like genuine.
Yep.
But you get your fix in a very safe way where you can
totally agree.
Monetize it at the same time.
It's like win-win.
Yeah.
Isn't it?
So yeah. That being said, had a foursome off cam the other week.
Oh yeah.
In like first in ages with Jenna Mark after. That was after Rocket Project.
Oh yeah, that looked good. All your outfits, it's so cool.
And that was nice, just to like not have the cameras rolling.
You're not thinking about where things are or what an angle. You can actually just sort of really relax into it. Yeah.
So that was good fun.
Nice.
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever had it off camera.
I forgot to press record.
I actually haven't. And then before I got into doing this, oh my God, it was a long time.
Yeah.
You know, and this is another thing. Like, when I worry that there might be the judgment with the school mums or whatever, and I think, but at the end of the day, right? Also, they've all got partners and like bigger families and more children than me, and then I think, well, it's okay for them to sit and have a conversation about going pub, getting out. No, I'm not judging that at all, but I'm saying that's acceptable to be doing, you know, having more of a, like the naughtiness of life in a different way. But then I think at the end of the day, I'm totally on my own. You know, no co-parent, no family. I've got zero time to date. That isn't possible for me, you know. And I think, and if I do, and I really did want to actually have some nice, intimate experiences. And I thought to myself, look, I'm in my 30s. I really want to experience some niceness because I hadn't, which is really sad to admit. I hadn't ever had an O with a man before I entered the industry, because I'd never really been with someone who ever really made me feel safe enough, you know, or ever really made it about me at all, which is really sad to get to your like mid-30s and that be your life, do you know, in terms of sex. And I thought, yes, I need money. I didn't want to lose my house and all things. So yes, that was the driving force. But another part that sort of encompassed it was, I will get to have intimate experiences while making money in a safe way. Because I can ask someone else, so you worked with this person, were they all cool? I get to see their health history for the past whatever time and check that that's all safe. So that eliminates that fear and that risk, which could potentially be in your mind worrying about it, so you can't relax, can't know, because of all these elements. All of those elements get tended to.
Yeah, totally.
And then off you go and have a nice time. I wouldn't be able to have sex, I don't think, without the industry. One, because I'd be too scared to meet anybody online.
Testing, barely anyone tests.
Exactly.
And even if they do test, the standard tests aren't appropriate.
Yeah.
They're severely lacking.
Yeah. And if I'm okay with it being on camera, then I'm okay with it being on camera.
Exactly.
You know, it may make you feel slightly uncomfortable.
But
I can
problem.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I'm sure you still get twinge.
But that's the thing, like, again, it's like social norms. So you're doing it a really safe way, ethical way, but then they'll get smashed on a night out.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Go shag someone randomly.
Yeah.
Potentially unprotected.
Yeah.
People aren't tested.
Yeah.
This, that, and then you're like, but that's fine.
Yeah. Because I've had a friend, like, well, couple or whatever, but I've had someone leave me because of this, because they didn't agree with my life choices, and especially like when I went viral for the HMB thing. But then I'm thinking, but I know, like, you've had one night stands. I'm not saying this to dig in any way. I'm trying to state like an observation of mine there. It's like, okay, so why is that okay, but it's not okay that I had sex with someone? Yes, it got filmed, but that's literally the difference. And another difference is I knew them and I knew it was safe. So I just, it kind of baffles me. And then I come back around the houses and think again, is something wrong with me in my brain? But thank God, I've got the community.
Literally, it's come back to that. Like,
it is.
If they get it, they get it. If they don't, they don't. They never will.
Exactly. And I did. I just accepted it. I said, look, it's painful. I don't want it to be this way, but I understand if I use empathy and put myself in their shoes, where they are and how they think. I get it. I get it, and I will respect that from that viewpoint. So then I left it there.
I do like. Come back to that, like, how does it directly affect them?
Yeah.
It doesn't.
Well, they said that they were being taunted at work because of me, but then I think it's the people taunting you that's the problem.
Yeah, exactly. So they're not blaming the bullies, they're trying to blame, you know.
Yeah. And then I was sitting there, I remember I was crying on my stairs thinking, like, do I think wrong? Do you know what I mean? Like, I'm questioning myself and doubting myself, and to be quite honest with you, I've had a lifetime of doubting myself, not knowing how to trust myself, having to think that everyone else is right, when actually I can. And I've had to so goddamn nurture that. It's taken me so long, and I still actively practice doing that. And it's a constant. They call it in like person-centered like therapy. Carl Rogers calls it the external locus of evaluation. So you assess the things externally.
Yeah.
So it's taken me a long time to keep sort of. I say I'm bringing my internal spotlight back to my core. I bring it back to there every time it's off, and then she's scared and she's shitting herself and she's thinking, "What's wrong with me?" I go, "Hold on, baby girl. Let's just take the spotlight back here, centre stage."
Yeah.
And then I'm like, oh, there I am.
Yeah, totally.
And then I can see it from my internal locus of evaluation and assess it from my self.
Yeah, rather than running away with it.
Oh, and I feel like, why?
Mm-hmm.
I was walking back from the school run today with the dog, just thinking, I'm so goddamn grateful and happy I've got to where I am.
Mm-hmm.
So happy, and I'm so excited now to see where else it's going to go. But then I think, my head goes, I'm going to be 38 this year, and I have to go, it's okay.
Yeah.
It's okay.
But at the same time, like, look at this, there's plenty of other creators
Yeah.
that are, like, late 40s, early 50s,
Yeah.
still smashing
Alexis Fawkes inspires the shit
Yeah.
out of me. I love her. And when I read when she started and when she came in, I'm going to be working with her at the end of August. You can tell I'm excited. Yeah, so I just love her. I find her really inspirational. I love how she seems to be as a person, what she advocates, what she promotes, the funness around her, as well as the what's the other word for it? As well as the like professionalism as well. You know, I said to Tommy earlier, there's someone I speak to online, and I said I just love letting fuckery and wholesomeness coexist.
Yeah, totally.
You know, and the fan was like, you should really make your own merch, and like, and now I'm really thinking about it. I really want to do it.
Yeah, you should.
Let fuckery and wholesomeness coexist. Make it Kayla style. Yeah.
Well, it's literally like when I was like, oh, I need to show you something. Sorry, there's loads of porn here.
Yeah.
Oh, it's wholesome. Oh, there's porn. Wholesome porn.
I did it. You know, when I got my second phone was because I booked a tip slot.
Yeah.
And I was taking stuff down the dump, and they said, "Have you got your confirmation?" And I knew I'd screenshot it, and he's like this, like that, and I'm like, I'm trying to like angle the phone, and he's like that over me, and I'm fuck. So I got a second phone in the end, and I thought, do you know what, I'm going to film, because the other one's battery was getting a bit caned as well, so I've got my filming phone and my personal phone now to try to
separate things,
eliminate risk when you're at the dump.
Oh my gosh. I always get the fear when someone picks up my phone, like, you got, like, a QR code to scan, and you're like, and they're like,
well, what I feel like, do you know what my head's doing? This is, and I've said this so many blimmin' times on here, is as I'm talking or just talking to the camera or having a conversation with someone, there is this bloody narrative in my head. It's like a little rat. Loves to sniff around and find shit about myself. Do you know what I mean? And it's sniffing around, it's going, you've been selfish, you've talked too much. He's meant to be a guest. You didn't let him speak. It's what he's telling me.
It's Kayla's podcast at the end of the day.
I know. But also, because I don't like plan these things, I just like to see where they go and see what comes out. Do you know what I mean? Maybe I should, but it's not.
I've been on quite a few, and they're like, they come back to the questions, and they have like questions.
And there's me.
It's all good.
Random here, there, and everywhere. Maybe I should, but I suppose that probably wouldn't suit me as a person.
No, probably not.
Just like open the warehouse.
Unless you just have like a few reference points, and that's that.
Yeah, he's just gently guiding me of what maybe I should do next time. Is there anything you'd like to talk about before we finish up? And because I'm excited.
No.
No,
I feel like we've.
It's nice, isn't it?
Yeah.
Nice having a little chinwag.
Yeah.
Because the point of these as well, for me, is to sort of attempt to promote how good saucy time can be when you've had a nice little in-depth conversation, you've opened up some vulnerabilities,
connected emotionally.
Yeah. And this one always makes me feel really safe, which I find really like, honestly, you all think it might be whatever, but if a woman feels safe, baby, she will bloom.
I still remember, like, I was like, oh, we need to get you to have an orgasm.
Yes.
Like, in the scene, you were like, what? So you can be the first one to make me orgasm? I'm like, no, because you deserve one.
Oh, see, I love you.
But yeah, like, it's genuine. Like,
it is.
For me, I like, say if I'm in a scene and like you can tell that they're just a bit like, this is a scene. I'm like, yeah, this is a scene.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But when someone else is enjoying it, I enjoy it so much more.
Totally.
Do you know what I mean? So, but yeah, I think it shows back in the content for sure.
100%. And that is such a good place to end, because then we can get it on.
Up against the wall.
Up against the wall, baby. So thanks for doing this with me.
Anytime.
Get ready for the next bit, but that won't be here.